What's going on, you guys? So it's been a minute since I've given you guys an update. It's actually been so long I had to go back through the videos I posted to figure out where I left off. So we've gotten quite a bit of work done. So in the last video that I posted was about the A-pillar bars. I kind of gave you guys a little bit of a rundown on how I did them and how I put them together, and showed you the final product of them being bent up. But since then we did move on and get some more tubes done. So after I did the A-pillar bars, I went ahead and we got the down bars tacked into some floor plates there. We did make some floor plates that actually tuck in there. They're not final welded on there, but we do have the floor plates in there, and the down bars are tacked in place. Now, the next step that I did after I built the down bars, basically went through, added like 4 or 5 tacks on each tube that I had. So 4 or 5 tacks on the A-pillar bars, the windshield bar, the down bars, where they all meet, etc. And then after I had that done, chopped them off the boxes and dropped the cage down. I'll actually add a still image of the cage drop down here so you can see exactly how far down I was able to drop that. So as you can see by that picture, it was quite a lot. It was about 4 or 5 inches. I was able to actually drop the cage down and go ahead and get around and weld all the way around the top, and all the top bars are completely welded all the way around now. So that's something huge, totally done with. Now after everything on top was welded, it was time to do a couple of the last bars, the anti-intrusion bars and the door bars. As you can see, we have the anti-intrusion bars in there. They're not welded on though. And now basically the way I do these anti-intrusion bars is first I bent up this base plate that you can see down there. So I got that base plate bent up, took my measurements, notched out a lower bar, tacked that lower bar into that base plate, and then this second anti-intrusion bar is basically just a 45, so 45 notch, kept kind of slowly notching it down until we got the distances just right to fit it up in there. And I mean, it's hard to see on here, but it does fit pretty well. After we got this top bar notched out and fit good, we tacked it to the lower bar, tacked it to the base plate, and since we didn't tack it to the A-pillar bar, this actually pulled right out, and we were able to take it over to the bench and weld it to the base plate. Being able to take that out and bring it over to the bench and weld it up makes it a hell of a lot easier than trying to snake in there with a TIG torch and weld it on with it being all the way up against the firewall. So that's why we do it that way. If it's not something you thought of, hopefully this helps you out. It'll definitely save you from a headache, but that's the way I do it. And then when you're done, you slide them back in, weld it to the cage. Well, before you weld it to the cage, tack it to the floor, then weld it to the cage, and then I weld the base plates on. I always finish with base plates. Base plates go on last with everything I do. I did do the driver's side first, then after that moved on to the passenger side. And as you can see, the passenger side is done as well. After leaving off with that, I started on the door bars. So the way I'm doing these door bars, I'm doing a low kick out on the bottom, and then the upper bar I'm going to bring as tight to the door skin as possible. I ran through a bunch of different styles of door bars that I wanted to do. I had bars on my old GTO that off the main hoop came straight out, and then they just did a curve at the last second to go to the side hoop A-pillar bar, and they worked good. Aesthetically, I wasn't too pleased with them. Some people prefer to just do 2 straight bars and then ladder them, NASCAR bars, ladder bars, but some people just do straight bars across, just angled notches. I'm really not a fan of the way that looks either. And then there's X bars, where basically one comes from up here, goes to the floor, and vice versa. Definitely not a fan of that. I've driven cars and been in cars with X bars, and they are super annoying to get in and out of, and I can't stand them. contoured outwards X-bars are not nearly as bad, but aesthetically I still didn't like the way they looked. So on this, what I decided to do was kind of bring this on a downward angle out, then bring it over, and then bring it in. And then the upper bar here is actually going to come out way further on a harder angle. So it's only going to be maybe this high above, but it's going to go all the way up to this harness brace. So it's going to come out and down, like pretty far out into the door skin, come across straight, and then it's going to go up and in and meet up right where the anti-intrusion bar does, which is also going to be the same position where the dash bar is going to go across there too. So it's kind of hard to imagine it, but just imagine this upper bar coming kind of down and out, across, and then over and up with 3 connecting bars in between. When it's done, I envision it, I think it's going to look really good. It'll give me plenty of room to get in and out of the car. It'll stick out tight to the door, so if there's a door impact, it won't, you know, cave the door completely in. And I think it'll be a good design and work out pretty well. And then over here in the engine bay, I've done nothing. I've done nothing in here. Pretty much all I've been doing on this car lately is swinging tube, notching it, welding it, tons of fab work. You know, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying doing it, and it's making me feel like I'm actually making a lot of progress on the car, seeing you know, all this starting to actually come together. So making progress, moving along. I know I didn't give you guys an update per se in like about a week. It's probably the first video I think I put out all week, but yeah, moving along. So that's gonna be it for this one. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, follow the build along, and until the next one, I'll catch you guys later.